Acknowledge the deep respect and gratitude that we are on unceded traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. Today we acknowledge and honor all First Nations, Inuit and Métis peoples, and we commit ourselves to the journey of reconciliation, healing, and unity. We also acknowledge today is Emancipation Day, marking the 190th anniversary of the coming into force of the Slavery Abolition Act. In August 1833, the British Parliament passed the Act, which called for the gradual liberation of all slaves within the British Empire. The law came into force August 1st, 1834, a day now recognized as Emancipation Day. Emancipation Day celebrates the strength and perseverance of Black communities. Canadians are not always aware that Black and Indigenous peoples were once enslaved on the land that is now Canada. Since the earliest days of colonization, slavery was legal in New France. In the 1780s and the 1790s, tens of thousands of loyalists fleeing the new independent United States found sanctuary in British territories, including Canada. Many of them brought slaves across the border. Upper Canada, now known as Ontario, became the first colony of the British Empire to introduce legislation to limit slavery. The law was adopted in 1793 by the Colonial House of Assembly and was championed by Upper Canada Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe. This legislation ended the importation of slaves in Upper Canada, but did not free those already here. That only occurred with the Slavery Abolition Act of 1833 and the completion of apprenticeship period. However, the Act established that slaves could not be imported to Upper Canada and gave rise to the Underground Railroad, as slaves escaping bondage in the United States who were not owned by the proprietor in the colony of Upper Canada were immediately free upon crossing the international border. The Act was the culmination of a long struggle to abolish the evil of slavery. In 1807, the British Parliament had passed the Slave Trade Act, empowering the Royal Navy to prevent the shipment of slaves internationally. But slavery remained legal within British jurisdictions where slaves were already held as property. The enslavement of Black people is a dark chapter in Canada's history, and today is a day of national reflection. In March 2021, the House of Commons voted unanimously to officially designate August 1st as Emancipation Day. Senator Wanda Thomas Bernard, a leading figure in the years-long push for federal recognition of Emancipation Day, said, "The day is not a celebration, but rather a time of reflection, a time of remembering our ancestors, and a time for honoring our ancestors." Today's ceremony will honor our ancestors as well as recognize the importance and significance of the designation of Emancipation Day, which we recognize not only as a country, but as a city. Consequently, it is my great honor to present the following proclamation on behalf of Mayor Sutcliffe. And I have it here. Whereas the City of Ottawa recognizes the contributions of its citizens towards the abolition of slavery and whose ancestry include the Middle Passage, and whereas the City of Ottawa acknowledges the historic significance of the 1793 Emancipation Act as the first act against the institution of slavery in the British Empire and the precursor to the Emancipation Act of 1834, and whereas the Emancipation Act, August 1st, 1834, was intended to end slavery in the British Empire. And whereas August 1st is the day for the celebration of freedom, unity, and strength as a liberated people. And whereas Emancipation Day was designated a provincial observance in Ontario in 2008 and as a national one in Canada in 2021. And whereas the 2024 Ottawa theme is Emancipation, a celebration of freedom through the cultural arts. Therefore, I, Mark Sutcliffe, Mayor of the City of Ottawa, do hereby proclaim August 1st, 2024, Emancipation Day in the City of Ottawa. Thank you.